Hi, this is HardballRetro. Today we're going to be doing a review of the 1984 season that's currently underway. I'm doing a replay using the as played lineups, rosters, transactions, schedules, pitching rotations, and so forth. And I'm through games played through June 30th. So we're going to take a look at the standings, leaders, any games with special events that occurred in the last month. Check out my other videos for the April and May results, or recaps through April and May. All right, so we're not quite to the All-Star break here, but pretty close. We're, let's see, 76 or so games into the season. So let's take a look at the standings here. In the American League, the Tigers, as they did in real life, are out in front, but not, I wouldn't say running away with the division here, but they are definitely out in front. They're setting a pace that was similar to what they did in real life, so 52 and 24. 177 positive run differential. The Orioles and the Yankees are hanging tight here. Orioles only 4.5 back. The Yankees 6 back. And the Jays above 5 games over 500, but they're 11.5 back. And even the Red Sox are at 500 in 5th place here. So clearly, the American League East is clearly ahead of the West in terms of overall strength, right? Looking at the West, we've got the Royals are in first, but they are below 500, 36 and 37. The Rangers, 1 game back at 38 and 41. We've got Minnesota, 2.5. Oakland, 3 back, even though they're 7 games under in the loss column. And here's my Angels. I'm managing the Angels. All the other teams are managed by the computer. We had a really rough patch in May, and we've just kind of been treading water here. April we were excellent, and then we went on a particular bad run on an East Coast swing where we went 0 and 10. So that was particularly dreadful, but we are trying to bounce back here. We're still in the running, only 3.5 out, despite all of our woes and our flaws. And you see here the little thumbs up icon here indicates that that's a human managed club. The White Sox are 5.5 back, and even the Mariners, 15 games under, are only 7 back. So it's anybody's race. You can see that the West all lost the games on June 30th there. So in the National League East, we've got the Cubs. As they did in real life, they're out in front of the Cardinals here, 2 ahead. Montreal is 6.5 back, still in the running. The Mets, a surprising 29 and 40. They're basically out of it at 14.5 back right now, unless they go on a real tear. The Phillies, 32 and 44, and the Pirates 31 and 43. So pretty much a 3-team race here in the East, unless somebody really gets hot there. The NL West, we've got the Padres, again, the division winners in real life. So right now, all 4 of the actual division winners are leading here as we move into July. But some of them are barely in front, so be interesting to see if those clubs hang on. The Padres half game up on the Astros. The Dodgers only 2.5 back, and the other 3 clubs here are below 500, but not totally out of it at this point. Take a look at the league leaders here. In the American League, we've got Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball, 350 average, ahead of Wade Boggs. Larry Parrish with a strong showing here at 327 for the Rangers. And Easler and Alfredo Griffin, 317. Um, that one's in particular a bit of an anomaly, I would say, but I guess not out of the realm of possibility. But Alfredo hitting 300 is tough without, especially he never walks. So we'll see if he can sustain that through the balance of the season here. Home run leaders, a bit of a surprise, Easler and Ron Kittle. I wouldn't be shocked to see Kittle up there, but Easler at 20 is a lot. Tony Armas, 17, Dwayne Murphy and Harold Baines. RBI leaders, we've got Cal Ripken, 59, 3 ahead of Don Mattingly. Larry Parrish up here with 56, George Bell, and Mike Easler. All right, over in the National League, we've got the Mookie Wilson, 347. 2 points better than Tony Gwynn. Gary Carter up there at 340. For the Expos, Ken Oberkfell, 332. That's a little bit out of his usual range, I would say. Johnny Ray, 327. All right, home run leader, Michael Jack Schmidt, no surprise there. Jody Davis and Dale Murphy at 13. Pedro Guerrero, 11. Ron Say with 10. And then we've got the RBI leaders, Steve Garvey, tied with Schmidt. Carter, 5 behind, Jose Cruz, and Jeff Leonard rounding out the top 5. AL pitching leaders. Well, here's my pretty much Mike Witt is the lone pitcher that's doing anything for me, and he's been outstanding. The 1.54 ERA, and I believe he's got a 9-3 record for me. Bert Blyleven, second with a 2.16 ERA. Jack Morris, 2.17. Mark Gubiza, Milt Wilcox. Jack Morris leading the way in victories, no surprise there. Mike Boddicker with 11. I believe he won 20 in 1984, so that makes sense. Mike Flanagan, his teammate, with 11. Phil Niekro on the Yankees, also 11. And Steve McCaddy of the A's with 10. Saves, we've got Willie Hernandez with 14, followed by Luis Sanchez, Ernie Camacho, Dave Schmidt, and Keith Atherton. NL pitching leaders, we've got Jeff Russell of the Reds, 1.84, followed by Doc Gooden, Nolan Ryan, Rick Mailer, and Dave LaPointe. LaPointe leading the way with 10 victories over Gooden, Honeycutt, Ryan, and Soto. Lee Smith ahead of Gossage, Reardon, DePino, and Moore in saves. MVP votes. Don Mattingly over Easler, Bell, Ripken, and Trammell. Jack Morris leading the way in the AL Cy Young over Niekro, Boddicker, Flanagan, and Wilcox. NL MVP. Schmitty ahead of Sandberg, Wilson, Wiggins, and Samwell. And NL Cy Young, Dave LaPointe at the halfway mark ahead of Ryan, Soto, Gooden, and Honeycutt. And I'll just briefly show the who's hot at the plate. Jeffrey Leonard, 455 in his last 10 games. And let's see, anything else interesting here? Hitting streaks. Chet Lemons, 21 game hitting streak so far this year is the longest. Steve Garvey in the NL with a 19-gamer. All right, so let's scroll up here. We'll go to reports. There we go. And special events. Alright, some of these things we are not interested in particularly, so I'm just going to scroll down a bit. right, home runs. Putnam, Law, and Walker. 3 homer games. Nobody with a 4 homer game, though. Got a lot of slams. A lot of ribbies. Steals, errors. Hits for the cycle. We've got Boggs and Henderson, Dave Henderson on the Mariners. Well, it's either Dave or I forget where Steve Henderson was that year. It's one of the Hendersons. Strikeouts, 15K game for Soto. Looks like it's the top one for this year so far. And we did have a no-hitter in June. I already looked at the Boddicker one when we did the April recap. So let's look at Ken Schramm's no-hitter here. Schramm was untouchable. All right, and the Rangers had 2 walks in the game. One by Pete O'Brien, one by Gary Ward. The Twins had a 3-hit game by Mickey Hatcher. And Danny Darwin was the tough luck loser there. Ken Schramm, 9 innings, no hits, 2 walks, 4 Ks. All right, good deal. So that is that. And I just thought I'd maybe drill down a little bit here since why not? Let's just see. All batting. Yeah, let's look at all batting and all pitching briefly. All right, so if you do the all batting report, you can look at every single batter. So let's look at, I don't know, some of the things we didn't see on the leaderboard here since we are pretty much at the halfway mark, right? So let's sort on doubles. There we go. Mattingly, Buddy Bell, Terry Francona, and this is obviously it's including both leagues here, but all right, so 26 doubles by Mattingly leads the way. How about triples? Got Juan Samuel leading the way with 11 triples over Jose Cruz, Ryan Sandberg, Chili Davis with 8. Home runs and ribbies we've seen. How about steals? All right, Alan Wiggins, 38. Lonnie Smith, 30. Jack Perconte, Juan Samuel, Tim Raines, Mookie, Gary Redus, Damaso Garcia. All right. Anything else? Let's check OPS here. I know there's other ways to see this. Oh, well, this is going to show us guys with like minimal at-bats. All right, we don't want to do this here. Let's go to, there's a different page with that. Leaders. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong thing. Let's do it this way. There we go. Much nicer report. And this is AL and NL split up. So Slug, Easler over Mattingly. OPS, here we go. Mattingly, Easler, Baines, Parrish, Pete O'Brien. Games, plate appearances, at-bats, stolen bases. Okay. Runs scored. See anything else we missed here? All right, here we go. NL on base, Ozzie Smith leading the way with 432 on base percentage. Michael Jack Schmidt, slugging percentage. Mookie second. That's interesting and odd. Chili, Dale Murphy, Gary Carter. Mookie with the 930 OPS. Mookie was my great-grandmother's favorite player, so that's cool to see. Anything else of interest here? Tony Gwynn already over 100 hits, as is Tommy Herr. Terry Francona in doubles. Juan Samuel, 93 strikeouts already. All right, let's look at pitching now. Drill down a little bit deeper on the pitching side. This is a neat report. Let's take a look at this real quick. Top pitching performances. This is sorted on game score, which, if you're familiar with it, it's one of those stats that Bill James came up with to figure out the best performances in a particular game. So Doc Gooden in this game pitched a two-hit shutout, 12 Ks. And he had a 102 game score. And Jeff Stone and Gary Maddox had the only hits. So, anyways, that's a neat little report. You can see who the best pitchers were in a given season. League leaders pitching. Here we go. All right, so there's Whip, Doyle Alexander, and Mike Witt. Lowest on base, Doyle Alexander for the Jays. Witt, lowest hits per 9. Lamar Hoyt, lowest walks per 9. Ks per 9 is Witt over Langston. He's in the fewest home run leaderboard there. What else we got here? Mike Smithson of the Twins with 140 innings after 3 months in the books. Number of guys with 9 losses already. Yeah, I've got Tommy John. He's been getting routinely smacked around. It's hasn't been a pretty sight with some of my pitching performances. Who else we got? All right, Willie Hernandez in 37 games. That makes sense. Bud Black and Mike Flanagan, 8 complete games apiece. Batters faced, runs allowed, earned runs allowed, strikeouts. Witt leading the way with 110 Ks over Steeb, Morris, Langston, and Necro. What else we got here? Home runs allowed, wild pitches, hit by pitches. All right, here we are in the NL. So Nolan Ryan with a .94 whip. Ryan lowest on base. Ryan lowest hits per 9. Alejandro Pena lowest walks per 9 on the Dodgers. Doc Gooden highest K per 9 over Nolan Ryan. Gooden has not allowed a home run yet. Interesting. And here's a cool little feature. Bruce Bereni was on the Reds, and then the Mets, so it shows both teams there. So that's cool. Again, 9-loss guys. Al Holland has appeared in 42 games. Teammate Larry Anderson in 39. What was that? Oh, complete games, batters faced, Strikeouts, Gooden 119, Fernando Valenzuela 116. Walks, hits allowed. There we go. All right, let me just see if there's any other interesting reports to look at the halfway mark here. Bam. And then we will wrap this up. We talked about awards already. Not really concerned about the team batting and whatnot. One loss grid. So you can see how your team fared against every other team. So just for example here, we'll look at my Angels. I'm 6-1 against the Brewers. I am 1-5 against the Orioles, not good. And 1-4 against the Tigers. That's kind of expected. 1-5 against the Yankees. Well, that's my East Coast swing right there. It was it might have been Boston there as well, but I did okay against them, so I don't think it was. I think it was Baltimore, Detroit, and New York, and I went 0-10. So that's a killer. But if you look at Detroit here, 4-1, 5-1, so forth. They are not sub 500 against any team yet, so that's pretty crazy. And then take a look at the NL if anybody's interested. I'll leave that up for a moment here. Look at that, Dodgers 3-10 against Houston. I'm just trying to see if anything else stands out here. No, nothing worse than that, I would say. And yeah. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. Take care. Let's talk to you next time.